Welcome to Meet the HR Show with me, Laurenelle. Welcome to another beautiful episode. And today, hey guys, I have a VIP, very important person. You think? No, he'll be giving us more of what VIP to his light means. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you today.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Pleasure is all mine. Yeah. Yeah.
So I've mentioned VIP.
Yes.
And people are like, very important person.
No.
What does it mean?
There's a twist.
There's a twist.
There's a twist. It's a visually impaired person, and the reason for VIP is for the longest time people associate it with having like status.
Okay.
But for us, it's having, a symbol of hope.
Yes.
For you to hear VIP and you're like, yeah, so we are very important people.
Very important.
And also visually impaired.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
this is Julius Mburu. We'll be walking his journey and understand how he has been able to make his way through. Karibu sana.
Asante. May I correct you?
Yes.
Julius Mbura.
Mbura.
Yeah.
Okay. Julius Mbura.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Now who is Julius Mbura?
Julius Mbura is many things.
Yes.
He's of course a VIP.
Very.
He's also a husband and a father and a man who's trying to make it work in this era and constantly in a perpetual process of growth
Yes.
and understanding and discovering who he is, and of course trying to be better by day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Career-wise, what does Julius do?
Career-wise, Julius is an advocate. I work with a non-profit organization
Okay.
called Enable, IN, and I'm the advocacy and legal officer.
Okay.
So my role is to connect blind and visually impaired. So we empower blind and visually impaired through assistive technology.
Okay.
But mine goes beyond that. And my advocacy is not to the radical side. It's more of giving these kids a voice, giving them a way, a path to follow, and showing them that it's possible, because I've been through the journey that they're going through.
Okay.
So I'm in a better place to tell them how the world is, because you get out of school and you get that the world is not what you hoped to be.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a lonely journey if you haven't accepted yourself and you haven't worked with your inner self to be comfortable with who you are, because that's a key to start a liberation and to make people around you to be comfortable and happy. Yes.
So you mostly work with kids?
I work with kids. So Enable works with schools for blind and visually impaired all over Kenya. We have 6 schools. We have one at the coast, we have one in Kisumu, one in Thika, Meru. Yeah, so my role is to have a mentorship program that incorporates these kids, what they want and how well we can nurture them from the ground up. So laying a foundation and starting from the grassroots.
Okay.
And then, so Enable has computer programs. So that's how we empower through assistive technology. The reason why I'm here and why I'm able to do what I'm doing is because of assistive technology. Because I can't operate my phone without a voiceover, for example, or my computer without a screen reader. So we normally use screen readers on the computers to make these kids have an exposure to the internet and also other opportunities that were not there while we were in school.
Okay.
So we are combining, we are walking away from the norm of having Braille being the main mode of communication to using technology. So it's accessibility and technology combined, so that they get to be at par with the rest of the society. Yeah.
So while growing up, at what age did you discover that you are a VIP?
So I have lost my sight twice in my life.
Yes.
The first time I was 10 years. The second time it happened 2019, just before my bar exams.
Okay.
And at the age of 10, it was gradual and abrupt.
Okay.
So the gradual bit of it, I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't like comprehend that I'm losing sight. So I used to take it out on other kids. If you start telling me, oh, you can't see, I'll just beat you up. And there was this girl in class.
Okay.
I was in like class 3. She was low vision. So she used to sit next to the board and read. So I was cheeky at the age of 9.
Yes.
And so I made it like a habit to be going to the board, read, come, record, put it down. And we didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
Because even mom wasn't sure what is happening. But then mom was called to the school and they discussed, and my performance was really bad. I was flopping in class.
Yes.
So mom was told, you need to have your kid checked. So I was taken to different eye units, like Kikuyu eye unit, but they didn't see the problem because they were looking at the eye.
Okay.
If you look at my eye,
Yes.
it might lie to you that I'm seeing, because my cornea, my lens, everything on the outer part is okay.
Yes.
But the problem is on the back of the eye, the inner side. So the distortion comes in between the lens and where the optic nerves take the information from the retina to process into, memories, pictures, what you're seeing, color, and all that.
Yeah.
So I have a condition called maculopathy,
Okay.
and this was discovered after I lost my sight. There are these doctors who came from the US, and they were specialists with the back of the eye. So they told me it's maculopathy, it's genetic. So, biology, recessive, and yeah.
When you start mentioning the recessive
Yeah.
and the hair,
Yeah.
some people remained there at the lenses.
Okay, let me make it simple.
Okay.
It's a degenerative condition.
Yes.
So it gets worse with age, and it's mostly prevalent in male than female.
Yes.
So my mom was a carrier, and my biological father, same. He was a carrier. You can be a carrier as a
Yes.
male, and it won't like manifest. But for me, it now, it came together, and
It just merged.
it happened.
Biology happened.
happened, yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
after 10 years, now you've already been diagnosed with it.
Yeah.
Did you continue with the normal schooling? Or?
No. I was now taken to a blind school.
Okay.
It's called Thika.
Yes.
School for the blind, primary now. And I had to be taking classes behind so that I get to know how to use Braille,
Yes.
mobility using a white cane like this one,
Ah.
and also adjusting to the new reality that what I used to depend on is gone.
Yes.
Then after like a year and a half, it started coming back again.
Ah.
Yeah. Then after like 6-7 months, started going down again. So it was like a roller coaster,
So it comes, then it goes.
Yeah.
It comes, then it goes.
But I was prescribed for glasses.
Yes.
And I used them from class 4 to class 8.
Yes.
And this high magnification, especially on the plus side, they drain your eyesight to a point where in class 8 I was told by the doctors, kindly revert back to doing Braille. So high school I did pure Braille. Yeah.
So that is it till high school.
Yes.
High school, you've already completed.
Yeah.
KCSE, we are done with it.
Yes.
How did you transition now to wanting to become an advocate or the lawyer part?
Okay.
Yes.
This happened after Form 4. So the courses that we had chosen, the list you normally have
Yes.
in Form 4. I had not put education as one of the courses that I wanted to take.
Ah.
Yeah, but now coming out, the Joint Association Board for the university, the health part,
Yes.
they told me that you've been called to Kenyatta University
Yes.
to do special education, and my heart was in theater and film technology.
Aha.
Yeah, so I had to do investigations of if I'm I'm capable enough to actually handle, because I wanted to be a director, producer, actor, everything combined, presenter, anchor, whatever.
Yes.
But they told me that I can only be the side of script writing, because I can't handle machines, you know, because of my limitation of sight. Then the back and forth with the job people, because I didn't want to go to KU. I deliberately wanted to get away from there, because there is a culture in KU. Because KU has been really good with special needs.
Yes.
So most people feel comfortable. Then I knew if I go there, I'll be, you know, in a comfort zone, because I'm with my peers. We are from high school, primary together.
The ones that you've been used to.
Yeah, so you don't push yourself.
Yes.
So I wanted them to change to University of Nairobi. They didn't.
They said
that was disappointing. And I wanted to change the course, because I didn't want to do education. I wanted to make an impact in another field.
Yes.
Because the assumption is that blind and visually impaired are normally good at education. So I wanted to go against the grain. Yeah, so I finally landed in University of Nairobi.
After waiting, how long did it take for you to land there?
I didn't go with the government program.
Okay.
So my uncle, who believed in me so much, and my family, my uncle told me, it's okay, you can go to University of Nairobi. If they admit you, we will take care of the rest. Yeah, and I owe, you know, my foundation of my career and everything to him. Yes.
Now, most of the time, when we look at people who are VIPs, there's this special thing they have inside them.
Yeah.
For example, one can say, by just touching, I can tell the color of cloth you're wearing.
Yeah.
For you, what's your special?
I wouldn't call it special.
Yes.
But I have a set of skills.
Set of skills, not even just one, a set of skills.
So I have pushed boundaries that haven't been pushed before.
Okay.
In the blind universe. I can walk comfortably in Nairobi from one point to another. If you told me to meet you at Bazaar, and I alight at whatever place, railways, where I know how to navigate. And so that's one.
Yes, that's one. You said a set of skills. We are still there.
Yeah, so the biggest, I think, the highlight is my touch and feel. The way you say it. So our way of seeing, I call my fingertips as extensions of my optic nerves.
Okay.
So we see through tactile vision. So it's how we touch. We know the patterns, the fabric, and all that. The
material.
And I use this on cars. I also, in the process, learned how to ride a motorbike.
So you can ride a motorbike?
Yeah, even now.
Even now?
Yeah, and even drive. I can drive.
But with the help of another person or alone?
Yeah, with the help of another person.
Okay.
Of course, at the time when I could see a bit, I could like navigate a bit, you know.
And move at least.
Squinting and moving a bit. But now I need someone to tell me, take a turn there, reduce. But I can't go on a busy road. I skate, and I also bake and cook. Yeah, so
baking and cooking.
Yeah.
Now that one, will you use your? That one you'll use your
I'll use
tactile?
everything. It's all everything combined, because I have to listen. Especially like, let me give you an example, pancakes. So when I'm spreading the batter on the pan, I have to listen to know how far it's gone. Yeah, there are other things that I can know, especially when I'm talking to you. I can know your height. I normally tell people I'm privileged enough to have experienced both worlds, the sighted world and the blind universe.
Yes.
So I get to blend best of both worlds. And even like dressing, I normally dress myself, so I know how to coordinate colors and all that. A born blind can't do that.
Now back to campus.
Yeah.
How did you get into law?
So I wanted to choose between international relations, because I had a dream of being an ambassador.
Hey, the dream can still be fulfilled.
Yeah,
not human is limited.
It is there. It is there. And I evaluated all these choices that I had, and I saw the best thing to do is to get into law,
Yes.
and my career path will be under advocacy. Like I can turn law, because law, we are dealing with legislations and the law, of course, constitution and all that.
Yes.
So for a change to be made, it starts from the law side, the law bit of it.
Yes.
So if I can be inside and know how these policies are made, like for example, now we are making the accessibility standard, the ICT accessibility standard for Kenya. We are the first people in Africa to do it.
Yes.
As Enable, we are doing a collaboration with KEBS, Kenya Bureau of Standards, and ministries like ICT Authority. And so you see, these are things that at the time I couldn't tell you that I want to do this and this particularly.
Yes.
But I knew that the vision of being in the front line to make, even if it's a small change, but at least that will touch a life, and it will go a long way to make sure that what I went through, or the struggles and challenges that I have overcome,
Yes.
they are not the same as people who are behind me will go through and persevere.
It's more of lifting another person.
Yeah,
From
getting
a
back and
different way.
reaching back and coming back, coming up with them.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've gotten to that point and I know the roadmap to success,
Yes.
how it can be, and the milestones, the minds that you set off and all that. So it's for me to show that I consider myself as a pathfinder.
Yes.
Yeah, I go through the hardships for you to at least have an easier time. Yeah.
So during campus, it was more of using, you said listening, still was there braille?
No, so campus I was using a computer
Yes.
with a screen reader. So it's like when you're reading and writing, for me,
Yes.
I'm typing on the computer. And also, like for the reading materials, for you can read, yeah?
Yes.
For me, I listen. So it's in audio form. It talks. So the screen reader will tell you how you're navigating the whole programs and all. And also Word documents. So it will read out whatever is written.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the reading materials, I used to tell the lecturers to convert those into readable formats for Word documents that I can actually like consume. Like now the screen reader reading out for me. Biggest challenge was in the library, so many books are in print.
Yes.
And I cannot read print.
Hey.
So you really have to be nice and depend on people
Yes.
to read for you. Be nice, because you're all benefiting.
Yes.
They are reading for you and they are also getting something out of it. So I normally tell people you can't be blind and be arrogant or rude.
So you need people.
You need people for you to thrive. Yeah.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
For how long were you? Did your course take?
4 years in university,
Yeah.
and then after university, of course, you have to go to Kenya School of Law
Yes.
to do the postgraduate diploma. And now this is where the second wave hit of blindness. Yeah,
Yes.
towards the end. And that came with another aspect of another dynamic, that this is something that you've been waiting for. You didn't know the time and when, but it's here. So you have to deal with the reality.
Now it's back.
Yeah, so it was more of adjustment
Okay.
than relearning, and yeah.
Which has been the hardest case that you've dealt with?
I think going back to the foundation level, dealing with kids and hearing what they are going through,
Yes.
especially the stigma that is there, and people think that we are at that point where we can say we are all equal, but the reality is on the ground things are different.
Vitu ni different habits.
Yeah, so there's that stigma that is still there.
Yes.
And it's because of the parameters that has been there for the longest time. It being a culture that is very dominant and, self-proclaiming. Like you're pushing agenda that is not favorable to the next person.
Yes.
And you put things in place to help people, like a person with disabilities,
Yes.
but you're not putting it as inclusive. Like the financial system, the banking sector,
Yeah.
during the COVID, the pandemic period, you wonder how, you know, people with disabilities, different disabilities, cope with transacting and, you know,
Yes.
yeah. So the reality of how uninclusive the society is, I think that's the hardest, and we're still trying to make strides, and the ICT policy will be not the ICT policy, the
Yes.
standard, because we are trying to make regulators and policymakers understand
Yes.
that you need to accommodate PWDs, persons with disabilities,
Yeah.
from the onset. You don't build bridges afterwards. Yeah.
You are a lover of technology.
Yes.
When you decide now I need to do my car reviews,
Yeah.
what prompted you?
It's the uniqueness of it, and also I saw a chance of disrupting the norm. It
Yes.
being a site-dominated world, you know, cars, you're attracted by what you're seeing.
Yes.
The paint job, the fenders, everything that is in, you know, being put together to come out with this stunning machine. But I wanted to show people that they can appreciate cars through a different dimension. The bonnet actually has two lines that give it elegance, you know, a bit of presence, and that aggressiveness. And also we come here, the ground clearance, guys, this one is on the platform of an Impreza. I can tell cars by how they rev, on what gear they are at and what speed, by just listening.
By just having
Yeah,
to
so
listen.
yeah, so it's just tapping into other senses and getting to enjoy what you're passionate about,
Yes.
without taking anything away. Yeah, so the lack of sight doesn't mean that I can't live my life.
That's
you
true.
know? Yeah, the lack of doesn't take anything away from me.
You have one of the fastest growing YouTube channels.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
Secret is just being yourself
Yes.
and getting to, you know, show people that it's possible, and inspiring lives. So
Yes.
my mantra being changing mindsets and shifting perceptions,
Yes.
and in the long run, touching lives in the process.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
What's your dream car?
a Mustang.
Why?
It's a muscle car,
Yes.
and it's practical. Yeah, so the big engine and the growl, you know,
Yes.
it's a big V8, lots of horsepower, and yeah, so Mustang GT 500.
During this walk of life, you meet various people and others are very inspired. To someone who is watching us right now and they're a person living with a disability, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that we are all distinct individuals, and we decide, like you decide how you want your life to be. I have the choice of kicking back and saying, you know, I can't do that, I can't do this, and I'm justified. Yeah, like people will be woishe, and they'll actually come to my, you know, my aid. But in the long run, people will get tired. But if you empower yourself, you start by working with your inner self, the deepest point of the core of what you stand for. That will give you, it will open you up. It will give you something that is untouchable. Yeah, it will connect you with your potential,
Yes.
because then no one will come and make you who you are. So in life we get who we are, not what we want.
Yes.
So it's not how you look at the world, but how you look at yourself.
So before we finish,
Yeah.
there was a challenge you had mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a challenge. I'll point you to a car and I'll need you to tell me some of the features and just give me a review of that car. Is that okay?
Welcome to this beauty of a car, and through touch I can already tell with the shape that This one is a mid SUV, and it's in the trim of Toyota, and the emblem is here. So where I placed this is in the 2000s, and in the 2000s Toyota introduced the RAV4. So it was the in-between car to blend the SUV feel and the station wagon feel of cars. And yeah, so this is a RAV4, the old model. So you can off-road with it. It has off-roading capabilities. Yeah, but it doesn't have like a big engine because it's 4 pistons. So it doesn't have a big engine.
Piston yenye nakumbuka ni ya physics. At least there I remember 4 pistons.
4 pistons, yeah.
Aki, thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
And that challenge, you did it quite well. What a proper car review.
Thank you.
I
Thank
would
you.
reach
That is a taste of what I normally do. Yeah.
In your YouTube. See, I told you, it's one of the fastest growing YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
and you're destined for greatness.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled. Yeah.
Sawa. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye. Till next time, my name is Laura Nell. Bye-bye.